Hello, my little munchkins, my little crones, and my little chickens. Well, this is a recap of the Brown Round, and we're going to just talk about just things what's going on around us. We don't have no papers, so this is going to be off the cuff. But what I have been finding out, before I go into it, I want to welcome you, my little munchkins, my little crones, and my little chickens. I had did a video on Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
But I did not put it out because I don't like to leap. I understand the media and I realize you can't just jump. Sometimes you have to wait, give it a like 18 hours, 24 hours time, just to see what is the water really murky. You understand? So with that being said, as I said in my video, that Jamie Foxx is well. Obviously yesterday or the day before or the day before that or the day before that or even the day before that. He has had visitors. He's out in the street. He is roaming around. He could be playing pickleball. He could be doing all the things. However, Jamie seems well. They even showed a little clip when he was at the P. Diddy's party, so it lets you know that there is nothing there. Also, it let you know his daughter and everything. It seems like he's in wonderful spirits. Baby, do you want to have something to say to that?
Yes, he looks like he's healthy and alive. And looking good and could possibly be playing pickleball.
Look like he could be. What else can I say? It was just good to see because at that point, I wasn't going to believe anything unless it was him coming talking himself. I mean, his daughter couldn't have done that. Nothing. But he is speaking and he's dating because he talked about his show and so he's letting you know that this is all Karen. Am I right? Say something.
Yes.
Okay. So what else you get?
That was pretty much it. That is out of the hospital.
Out of the hospital. It seemed like he's been out. I don't know if he's been out, but it could have been. It was just good to see him. And as far as the media, I don't know who put such things out like that.
I have no idea.
But even so, I think it could have been said earlier that he was out, had he had been out. It could have saved a lot of tears and a lot of sadness. Yeah. Nevertheless, I'm going to give this a pass. But it was good to be introduced to his daughter, Corinne, and get to see and know who she is, and to see that Jamie is okay. And with that being said, I don't really have anything else to say. This is why I don't always respond. Could it be a hoax? No, it's not a hoax. Because he said that he came to tell us the truth. Like I'm paraphrasing, but it is me. I am, see, me. It's amazing what media can do.
Yes, it is.
Why they allow that negative energy to run rampant like that. Not shut it down, we'll never know the answer to that.
No, we
I think it was just all working in their favor. Because if you're out there talking negative, we're over here fixing positive. So if we look at it that way, because at the end of the day, it's like Jamie Foxx has risen from the dead.
Yes.
That's what it feels like. But it isn't that at all. It's just that they withheld the truth. Not the truth. They withheld what was his condition until this time. So I think that's good. He spoke for himself, and everything is copacetic.
Yes.
Baby, come.
Oh, what else did we want to talk about on cup? Well, this is gonna be off the cuff Brown Round today.
Off the cuff Brown Round today.
We did hear some people in the news about having babies, apparently, like Robert, was it Robert De Niro?
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Was he 79?
Something like
79 and had a baby.
Congratulations.
That goes to show some of this pimp juice is potent. You understand? All you need is somebody fertile, okay? So that's good news for Robert De Niro.
Yes.
Any other news that's going on that we might be missing?
I know. I'm sorry. The hair in my face.
Oh, I have something that I would like to talk about.
What?
On this Brown Round. I looked at someone, and I think it was Elliot. Michelle Elliott.
Okay.
Elliott, what's her name?
Mhm.
Well, anyway, her. And she proposed a question. And the question was the DNA about can a black man
Oh.
give birth to a white baby? Or if not that, what is the percentage? So I'm here to give my opinion on that. If a white woman, because remember, women house the baby. Women nurtures the baby.
Yes.
Women has the baby inside of them. So if you say, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, the chicken had to come first. What do you mean? Okay. So this goes back, the rest I can explain it. Can I give them a little story about
Yes.
Adam and Eve? Okay, let's just use the story about Adam and Eve to explain the situation. Yes, Adam came first in the realization of, yes, this is an earth. He was the first to feel breath, air, live in this utopia. But he was not the first to give. They saw, the ancients or the aliens saw that Adam was sad. He was sad. It was not good. And so they didn't understand that. So, but he was a part, it's all an experiment. So he's here, so they can't stop the experiment once they realize Adam is sad. Yes. So we want to make Adam sad. Why was Adam sad? He was homesick. So they sent another being like his kind to come to procreate, to put more life on the earth, although it was life here already. However, not this kind of life. Right. So this new species, like we do now, she gave birth, but they had to have a woman. So yes, Adam was the first one to be, but he was not the first to bring life. Do you understand? To see light. He was the first to come into the artificial light. You understand? To see color in this dimension. He is the first to enter in human form, but yet not meant to die. Okay? However, there was something in the earth that had crept in the earth, that was watching, that had already saw this planet empty and wobbling and came and became a hybrid and hid. So when the other explorers saw the earth, they thought it was empty. So then it was able to counterfeit or trick, and that's how it fell into a darkened state. So the only way that man could keep populating, it needed a female. So male and female are one. In the other world, there is no separate male, there is no female. You are yin and yang. You are one. The way they express their love is a complete love for one another. You follow what I'm saying? It is beyond our understanding. However, so it takes the woman. So all the seed the man would have, it would just spill on the earth and not be productive. So if the seed is put into an incubation period, it can grow. And without that, there is no seed. No seed can germinate and grow. It's like putting it in the matrix. It's like putting it in the earth so it can germinate for 9 months. Understanding that it has no disruptions. Right. Okay? Now with that being said, and that's how life comes. So when you're born in darkness. You see? And all the light that you see around you is an artificial light. You see? So when you go to sleep at night, it's like a death. You're just reliving, you're renewing, recharging. You're going on about your average day, but when you wake up, you don't remember. Or you remember fragments. Or you remember things that is necessary to remember, or rubbish. It all depends. Am I making sense, baby? Yes. So what comes first? The seed, the father. If the father was of a mixed seed, then it can only give birth. It can only plant a mixed seed. If the father is of a Caucasian, it can only plant a Caucasian seed. Okay? So you're saying, how is the mother involved? She's nurturing it. So they become one through blood. Huh? Do you understand? Why? Because the water is the blood. So through that's how human life comes, through water, blood. You understand? So I want to know, am I making sense?
Yes.
Is this complicated or I'm making it easy? So yes, it is the seed of the Father that determines who is white, who is black, who is Asian, who is Chinese, who is Hispanic. It is the seed of the Father who says who is mixed, who are pure blood, who is African, who is Jamaican. However, we're all one. That's the kicker. We're just split up because of a seed that was planted in the earth by someone that was trying to override the goodness that the ancients was trying to do. And so we live in perpetual light and darkness. So with that being said, anybody want to know, it is the seed of the Father. Back when I was a kid, they would say, if you're 1% black, you're black. What they meant was, if your father is white, you make you white. But what if the baby come out black? Well, it's a mixed kid. Right?
Yeah.
Because you got two different origins. We're not different in origin, we're different in color.
Yes.
From two different backyards. You understand? So this is why they say stay over there. Because if you want it to stay pure, then you don't want to change the color. So let's say you own brown eyes and brown skin. You know, if you brought another foreign in, it's going to change the DNA of the structure of the look. But it isn't going to change from being a human. We're all human beings. We all come in this earth through the matrix, through the blood, and through the water. We're all spewed out from the body, either through the vagina or through the lower abdomen. All of us. There is no other way. Even animals go through the same thing. So who is the seed? It is the seed of the Father. But the mother and the father were one. But to come in this earth, it was separated. You understand? So yes, you need the mother. So she came first too. Because she is the first one to be able to carry a child and give it in. Man is not able to do that. Is that clear?
Yes.
So they both were first in their own origin. Adam first to come to see, to scope, to name. Woman come to nurture, to give birth, and to give suck. Is that understandable? I hope that helped.
Yes, it
Is that those are the two things that was on my mind this weekend. What about you, baby Crone? Is there anything about, speaking of babies, it just seems like everything is about babies. Like
Kourtney Kardashian allegedly might be having a child with Travis Barker was his name. Yes.
Travis? She wants a who?
Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh, yes. Is she pregnant? I don't know. It sounds a little iffy about it. But yes.
Because they were going through trying to get pregnant and it sounded like it worked somehow.
And don't be surprised that so many people are having a hard time getting pregnant. This is what in the times we live in. That's because we're going through a major shift. So yes, things are happening in a rapid motion. I got a lot to say about that, but sometimes I like to sit on things. So I'm going to sit on that for a while. Yeah. And besides, is there any more what is your name? Generation
Z.
Generation Z. There is no more alphabets.
No.
She's the last.
If we start going into the Greek alphabet, I'll be scared. Be like, yeah, Generation Alpha, Generation
But
Beta.
that's still, but it's still A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We're at the end of the alphabet.
Yeah.
So, you know, what we have 26 alphabets, whatever, 26, 27, 28, whatever. We have that many alphabets. And so we've gone through those many time periods. Okay, because we're at the end now.
Yes, we're at the very end.
So, and the Gen Z. So, the way that I can see it, the Gen Z generation is a mix of the baby boomers. It's a mix of all of us. All of us are in one in this Gen Z
era generation.
Era of generation. And we don't want another one of them. right? So it's the end of an era. And now everything is changing and evolving. And so we just got to see where we're going from now. Go ahead.
Yes. That is a good question.
I don't even know what you're looking for anymore.
I was trying to see if I could find a picture of Kourtney Kardashian pregnant.
I don't think you're going to find a picture of her pregnant.
No, there was no picture of her pregnant.
So I don't know if she's pregnant, but there is talks that she's really trying again. Mm-hmm. I could have sworn I heard somewhere that she could be. However, there we go again with that media. You can't trust it. So until I hear it from her mouth, and when she say it, remember, it's going to sound an alarm. Just like when Jamie Foxx, when she's pregnant, it's going to be no doubt she's pregnant. I have not heard that. And until I hear it come from Kourtney's mouth, right, I will not believe anything anymore. And this is how I'm going to be with the media. If I don't hear it come from some things you'll never hear. And that's okay. True. It'll always be up for scrutiny. But from what I do hear and what I do know, if I don't hear it from that person, then I ain't buying it.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think? So, A Knock in the Cabin, if you ask me, what do I give the movie? I give the movie a 7. However, I thought it was a good movie. And the only reason why I give it a 7 is because I don't think that the gods, I don't like the word gods, that the ancients, the aliens or beings or whatever you want to call them, I don't believe that they would want someone to give a sacrifice to save humanity. I don't think that they would choose a homosexual couple, especially one that has been brutalized and tortured and have an Asian baby. Mm-hmm. I just that was over the top for me. I wouldn't say corny, it was insulting, I thought. However, if you get beyond that, I felt like the question that the couple asked, why us? You did single us out. I don't believe that they singled them out. Right. I do believe the writers singled them out. I didn't like that at all because it didn't seem like a loving God, or you want to save a world. Why would you go to someone and wreck a home? That's not it. See, now if you want to take the premises from Jesus willingly gave his life. He wanted to do it. These people was in opposition. Yes. So I don't see how someone could be in opposition of something, save anything. So for that, I give it an 8. A 7. But if you can overlook the inconsistencies, and if you can overlook the ignorance on the behalf of the writer, trying to do something avant-garde and made an avant-garde mess of it, but looking beyond that, it was thrilling. Yeah. But what I don't like is when you take something sacred and mix it with the profane. That's what I had a problem with this movie. So I do recommend it. Please see it. Tell me how you feel. What's your opinion? I thought it was riveting. I don't want to go in too much because I don't want to tell you the movie. But you look at it. I get the premises of it. Do you?
Yes, I do.
I really thought it was good, but it was.
I just feel like the question to pick between your family and to save the entire world is...
so unfair.
Yeah. Because you're asking me to choose between a loved one and...
No, you're asking me to die.
Strangers.
Right. For something I don't even love. For something that hurt me. For something that don't even allow me. That's just like a slave. That's like a master come to a slave and say, you and your family shall die. And for all white world, for the whole world. And this slave is saying, but you beat me, you brutalized me, you tormented me, and you're still saying, God wants you to die to save us. Why would a slave want to? That's what it was like.
Yes, it did feel like that.
That's the best way I could do it. Do you have another scenario, or that was good?
No, that was good.
So look at it from that viewpoint where I'm coming from. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. but I just felt like the writer could have done better. However, I understand where he's going, and it was nice. So I definitely see now that there's going to be definitely a rise of more Asians in movies, like we never seen, because you did have the homosexual relationship and you did have the Asian kid. So I definitely see that, and that's a beautiful thing too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because movies and things is about all people,
Yes, inclusive.
all where, everywhere, because the one thing we all have in common, we are all human beings. We all sleep, we all eat, we all eliminate, we all need love, we all need shelter, we all need. And we all have thoughts that come in and out of our minds 24 hours a day.
Yes.
And we all feel. So, and we all have senses. So we are so much alike. And it's such a sad thing that my life choice or the color of my skin separate us.
Yes.
How petty minds earthlings can be. With that being said, so do you have a movie have you thought about a movie that you like?
Yes, I do. It is called Infinite Storm with Naomi Watts.
What's her name with Naomi Watts? Is that her name?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes, I did look it up.
Okay. Thank you. I couldn't remember her. Okay, go ahead. Talk about it.
Another thriller and drama. It was very interesting. It was also based off of a true story, unlike the last movie we talked about.
Right.
Although it was very thrill-seeking. The main character played by Naomi, was a rescue ranger and was climbing.
A rescue ranger nurse.
Yes, who really, oh wow, go figure. I don't want to spoil the story, but she was a mom seeking to save this person on top of a mountain in order to fill that empty space within inside herself. But also at the same time, the person that she went up there to go save, it was not an easy trip to bring him back down.
It just seemed that the person did not want to be saved.
Yes.
However, if you're in a crisis, I'm just going to say it, he was freezing to death. So I don't know what it's like when you're frozen.
Right, that is
All
true.
I know, I've had my hands in the snow as a little kid playing in the snow, and they turned blood red. I'm running in the house screaming and hollering, and my grandmother had to help protect my fingers and would fuss and say, "You almost frostbitten." Now, what I remember most about this is the unthawing part. The pain, the sharp pain that goes through you when you're unthawing. It's like, put them in hot water, and it would be like, that isn't going to do. The water just made it worse. Yes. So they just have to keep doing this. And you're screaming and hollering and screaming because they unthawing. I say all that to say what it could have been like to be unthawing, to be frozen, to break a foot, to have your body frozen, and somebody is constantly waking you up, telling you to fight so you won't go to sleep, to get the energy going. And she wrapped him in stuff that will keep the heat in. It is crazy. I don't think that it keeps you warm. I don't think it keeps you warm, but it keeps the little bit of heat from escaping the body, like a thermal. Like when you wear a thermal jacket, it really doesn't mean you don't get cold.
Right.
It just means that it ain't going to let whatever heat, it's just not going to let it get out.
Right, it just traps the heat.
It traps the heat. So go ahead, baby Crone. You want my opinion?
Yes, I would like to know your opinion. By the way, I rate this movie as a 8.
I rate this movie as a 7.
Okay.
And the reason why, because I didn't get the end. I didn't get the end of it. It was a sleepy movie. It's long. It's not long. It's full of adventure, but for me, it's a sleepy movie. If you're looking for a lot of thrills and chills, you won't get it. However, it's a sleepy movie, but I felt it was a very good movie. It was definitely entertaining. What I didn't like about the movie is when she came down off the mountain, he had enough strength. She got him just enough where he could, you know what, if you see the movie, for you that don't see it, escape. However, in this movie, they kept showing bits and pieces of her children.
Yeah.
I don't know, were they taken? Were they destroyed? What happened?
Well, what happened was she said that there was a
Sorry, spoiler alert.
She said there was a gas leak in the building, and
What building are we talking about?
the building that she was living in.
Okay.
And she fell asleep with the window open in the living room, so she was able to breathe, and she woke up being able to struggle and get out of bed. But the children in their bedroom didn't have a window open, so they essentially suffocated. Yeah.
That's sad. I don't know where I was when that part was on. I think I had just tapped out the movie and probably was looking at YouTube, looking at news, because it was just long.
Yeah,
it wasn't long, it was just the storyline
Yes.
was drawn out.
Especially when you go back and forth between the past and the present.
Yeah, it gets
and
a little
didn't
monotonous.
add up until like the very end.
Yeah, and even I knew it was something about the kids. I knew the children had passed or their father had taken them away. I didn't know what the mother had to do with it, Naomi Watts. I don't know what she had to do with it, but I knew that, and that was enough for me. So, I guess if you like what I call those movies.
Adventurous.
Or extreme movies where people are doing extreme acts.
Yes.
You would like it. I did. I liked the movie. I gave it a 7. You gave it a
8.
Well, there you
And
have
then
it.
at the end, the guy even.
Yeah, tell me about that. No, go ahead. That's a spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
you're right. Spoiler alert. He praised the woman at the end, even though he wanted to keep his identity anonymous. But he did say that he was feeling a little suicidal because his loved one had broken up with him.
And it wasn't a cat. It was really a person he was grieving over.
Yeah.
That he wanted to die.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get that
Yes,
right.
you did.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah and
But I
hallelujah.
guess, like you said, once he tried to do it and did not die from it, he was like, this is not the way to go.
It's just not meant to be. And like she said, you have 9 lives. Because he really was trying to.
Yeah, he really was. That's what the crazy part was. And she was still like, I'm going to save you.
And I guess I understand why. Mm-hmm. And if she were to expire doing her job, it would be fitting. That would be the way she would want to go. Mm-hmm. She just never got over the loss. And you know what? And saying about loss, this is just my opinion. I can't imagine, and nor do I want to. But one of the things that I'm learning in this life is it's a journey. And we don't know what's before us. But what I am learning, if you want to succeed in life, through obstacles, through ups and downs, through heartbreak and heart disruption, if you want to live, you got to keep moving. And if you don't, go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
You got to keep moving. And if you don't, you'll be caught up and stuck in time. In a situation, you're useless. Because her life now is only about reviving the dead. This is a man that wanted to die.
Yeah.
She was doing everything in her power to save him. Mm-hmm. A man that didn't want to live. At the end, that was his choice. He fought her tooth and nail all the way, when she found him, all the way down to the bottom. Mm-hmm. I would like to tell you more, but it would kill the ending.
Yes.
However, it came over the air that there was a woman that saved somebody. Now, what I don't understand is why didn't they say a rescue ranger? Was she really a rescue ranger? Or did she say she was a rescue ranger? Because apparently no one knew who she was.
Yep, because she said she was the only one on the rescue team that she was. So I'm not sure if that's really true. So.
No, what it meant is I appointed me to do this. Because no one knew who she was.
Right.
And so they would have been at her house. They would have came. The news people, it wasn't. As far as you watch the movie and you tell me.
Yes,
I want to hear your opinion. I believe she appointed herself. She was very good at it, and she was a nurse. And she knew where she was. And when she got to the top of the summit, she trying to say he have, it was just mayhem. But nevertheless, they made it off the mountain. Now, what I did like about the movie, it had an end. It wasn't like, it didn't leave us up in the mountains for 40 days and 40 nights. It didn't do that. They got down the mountain, they went up that day, and they came down that
same day.
And they didn't make it like, it was over the river and through the woods. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like a typical trip up to a summit.
Yeah.
You get there, it's heck going up there, and she was styling walls like this with those sticks. I don't know what they call. I'm sure they made out of metal. And he was already up there, undressed, unprepared, just wrong shoes, wrong everything, right? And she saved him. But at the end, he did come to appreciate it,
yes,
correct?
He did appreciate it.
How did she find him?
He actually found her because she was trying to find him because he wanted to stay anonymous.
And she definitely wanted to stay anonymous.
Yeah, even when people tried to approach her, she was just like, no, sorry, she's not here. Or
Right, I got you. Yeah.
Right.
So she couldn't have been a part of a real rescue squad because somebody would have been, her boss or something.
Yeah,
so,
you're definitely right.
Yeah, somebody put, but you watch and you tell me what you think. At this movie, what is the name of it?
Infinite Storm.
I think I seen it on what?
Amazon Prime.
And the cabin, Knock at the Cabin, that movie, girl, that movie had me, really.
That
but
was on
it was
Peacock.
very good. And it could, like I said, let me go back to this one again. My final thought on the cabin. It could have been, but I think when it came down to the sacrifice, I wasn't feeling it. Out of all the people in the world, why didn't you go knock on T.D. Jake's door? Why didn't you knock on a religious person door?
I feel you on that one.
It may be sound like I'm being facetious.
No, because even the movie tried to address it because the four people that
did.
came to the cabin, they said, we knew it was this location. We didn't know who was going to be in here. It just happened to be you.
It just happened to be you. Like anybody could have been there, but the story writer made it about a gay couple that had adopted an Asian child that they got from overseas.
Yes, and
so they wanted you to know where that child came from. They wanted you to know that the writer wanted you to know. I'm really on Knock on the Cabins. I'm sorry, but please see it. What is your final thought?
I was gonna say that speaking about the writer. Even
which movie?
Of Knock at the Cabin. That even the married couple themselves said that
challenged that.
Yeah, because they felt like they were being targeted. Because even by chance, one of the people,
out of the couple,
that was there,
the more feminine one,
was the one that that finally came around towards
because
the end.
he saw something.
And is it interesting?
I don't even want to tell it because this is the most good part of the movie, but go ahead.
I just find it's just interesting that he was the one that could have possibly had a concussion because he had a head injury.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that he was the one that chose to sacrifice himself.
And that's what his mate was saying. How do you know that this is not your concussion? I liked his response. Paraphrasing, I don't know if it is my concussion, but I saw something. And what I saw gave me peace. See, that's truth. If truth bear witness in your soul, in the very core of you, if you ever want to know if you got peace about a thing, he had peace about it.
Yes,
and what I loved about this is a spoiler alert, he said, do it quickly while I have my eyes focused on you. Do it quickly while I'm focusing on our family and I have good thoughts. Do it quickly while I'm not afraid, while I feel bold, while I feel this is the right thing for me. I give my life completely.
Yeah.
Please, if you have any hope to survive, I give my life for the world. I hope As dramatic as that
Like you
was,
said,
that's how
he
dramatic it was at the ending. Far as I was
he
concerned.
willingly sacrificed
At the
himself
end,
like Jesus.
He did, like Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God. You got to say it right. Although I don't buy in it, but I grew up under it, so I understand the message. And my message to you is, if it's Jesus that makes you find your peace, if it's Jesus that gives you harmony and give you what you need, well, by all means, do what make you happy. How about that?
Yes, and also I feel like that family's life is now forever changed.
And he even told him that he was really interested in the Asian woman. Remember? Before he...
Oh, yes.
He already saw. It was like the energy showed him a life where he wasn't even being honest with himself. He was so bitter about being a homosexual that I don't even think that he realized that he was bisexual. Do you get that?
Yes.
And I loved it, like a Jesus story. His mate say, I don't leave you comfortless, but I leave you where your heart is. I leave you with a mother for our child. She is perfect. You love her, she loves you. You no longer have to hold these feelings inside. You can go and be.
Yes.
I thought...
And be they did.
Yes. I didn't mean to tell the movie, spoiler alert. However, I always said, see for yourself and judge for yourself and put your comments down below. Baby Crone, what do you have to say about the mountain, about the extremists?
Yes, the extremists.
Naomi Watts was an extremist.
Oh.
She like extreme sports.
Go figure. Yeah, my last comment I have to say about that is that it was, I was on the edge of my seat watching it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. They both were good movies and made you think. Right. Maybe The Knock at the Cabins made me think a little bit more, but
on a spiritual level, like the end of a world apocalypse. This one made you think on a level of humanity and love for one another.
Yes.
And what would you sacrifice your life for someone that don't want to live and fight you at every point? And for me, the only reason why she did that, I wonder if she had a family, if she had her kids, would she have been the same way? Would she have been, no matter what, I can't lose you? Or would she have been, it's getting dangerous, I got to get back down for my family. Either you want to live or not. Either way, I'm leaving you here. But we will never know because the writers wrote it differently. That is not the storyline it gave. It gave the storyline of her losing her two girls. Yes. And she lived. And I also like the fact in the movie that they even showed it. It was just a weird part
it was
when they
really
left
weird.
The window open. Like I was like,
I didn't get it at first.
I didn't get it either. I didn't. I'm like, why is she sleeping in the cold with the window open with this big old weighted blanket quilt on her? She looked cozy though. And then when she got out, she had on thermal and pajamas. And I didn't understand that until you just said that she sleeps with her window open. Got it. And people do, you know.
Yeah, people do sleep
in the dead winter.
Uh-huh.
Woo, cold. They sleep the best in the cold. Not me, no sir. No. My bones start hurting.
Yes.
No.
But actually, interestingly enough, both movies had to talk about sacrifices in different ways.
Yes, definitely. And dealing with loss.
Yes.
Both. Dealing with loss and sacrifices. So, would you like to close it out?
Yes. Well, with that being said, little munchkins, crumbs, and chickens, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Why are you looking at me? You looking at me because I'm looking at you, and you looking at me. We should be looking at you.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, baby. Crone.
Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and recap. It was
a mishmash, a mishmoosh of nothing.
Hey, it was off the cuff.
Off the cuff. That means you get what you get It wasn't orchestrated. It wasn't studied. It wasn't planned. It was like, we came here to do a reading on Jamie. I did the reading on Jamie. Fantastic. But I didn't have to put it out. Why? Because what I had already did had already came to pass. The cards had spoken. However, if you ever want to see that video, I would be more than gracious to put it out. But I need at least 10 people wanting to see it. And I will put it out for you.
Yes.
No, I gotta make it harder. 25 people.
25 people comment and say you want this video.
See the movie, the video about Jamie Foxx that I did yesterday morning, like early in the weedy hours of the morning.
Yes.
What I put out, I didn't put it out because it was already done. Exactly like I said.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
So I did not put it out because I didn't think it was necessary. However, I put this out instead. So I think that was wonderful.
Yeah, we covered some heavy topics
Yeah,
today.
we did.
It was a very spiritual, off-the-cuff brown round.
Yes, it was. And please, thumb us up, watch us. We really, really do, because this is where I get my inspiration to read cards. So please join us.
Yes, on the next brown round and the next time we recap, because it is the weekend and we will be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, we didn't do one because we just wanted to make it all one.
Yeah, because it wasn't to be continued.
It was a to be continued, so I want to get it all. So when we sit down at this table, we're going to sit down. We're going to have a full story. All right? So with that being said, thank you for joining us, our little crones, our little munchkins, and our little chickens. Sunflowers.